Here she comes now. I think that gives us enough for a quorum. Are you connected, Whitney? Whitney, can you hear us? I'm still connected. Can you hear us, Whitney?
I don't think I'm missing anything.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and I'll call the meeting to order. If you want to do the roll call. Like I said, I know Terry's coming at some point. He's not on here yet.
That's for our members if we got them emails.
Marty, do you have the list of members?
It's not like on the agenda like you normally have, but I know, you know, you're here, Terry's here, I'm here, Whitney's here, Terry's on his way. And I have the, you know, the section directors who got put on here, but.
Well, they're not on there yet. They don't start until July 1. We're just going to announce
Okay,
those tonight.
okay. Yeah, normally there's a list, but there's a list here on the
Yeah.
agenda today.
I know Mike Eden's on here. Also.
Okay. Mike's on the call, I'll add him.
Stacy Rice is on here. She's the board member.
Hey, Victor, I'm on here, Roger.
Okay.
I'm under visitor.
Oh, okay.
Andy's on here too.
Yeah, I haven't got down to you, but I saw you got on here, so. Did you get all those?
Okay, yeah, so I added Mike, Roger, and Andy.
Okay.
And I got
Yeah, this
Stace.
is Noel Clayton. I'm on here too, I guess, as a visitor.
Yeah, that's fine. We've got that. We're just trying to do the board members just to make sure we got a quorum. Yeah, everybody else is just here for the meeting. We'll open it up to anybody on here who wants to speak. You got a minute to speak. We might let you go a little bit longer. Try to get on time. Anybody want to speak? Do we have somebody wanting to speak that's on a phone? I'll take it. Nobody wants to
Okay, it
speak.
doesn't seem like there is. Yeah,
Pardon me?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's what. So let's go. We'll go to the next item. Is treasurer report. Terry.
Here, Victor, were you able to push that out to the board?
I am, but I'm also going to do a screen share.
Okay.
So everybody on here will be able to see it too.
Okay.
So give me.
All right, the first item Victor's got up there is our income statement starting. You see the date, July 1, 2020 through today, June 15th. Not a lot of revenue. I mean, the main revenue source was our sectional tournaments. I mean, we didn't have any, dues. We didn't have any miscellaneous fees, and so much for the sectional. We did have one due, I should say that back, and I just kept that, and I've got a record of that. So we'll move forward on that. So just a little bit over $2,700 in total receipts for just about the year time period. Disbursements, not a lot in disbursements, mainly associated with the sectional tournament, or tournaments, as I should say. But we did have 340 in website. And then the sectional tournament expense, you see there just a little bit over $2,000. So I guess you can look at this and you can say, from the sectional tournament, we netted out roughly $420. And we'll say these are all the receipts and bills that we have through today. We are waiting on a couple other bills to come through. And then we will have the sponsorship from the bank, from People's Bank, for our Mr. and Miss Tennis. And we'll pay that when we get the invoice on the trophies. So, or the plaques, I should say, plaques. So $420 that we've accumulated during the last year. Then the next item you have there is the balance sheet. Victor wants to share the balance sheet. Not much on the balance sheet. Basically, all that we only asset we have is our cash. It's the cash in the checking account, and our cash balance as of today is 7,000. The balance sheet there, Victor.
That's what I thought I shared.
Okay,
But I hit-
income statement.
Oh, I know what it was.
Okay. But like I said, the only item we have on the balance sheet relates to our cash. That's the deposit balance in the checking account, the $7,971.25. We don't have any liabilities outstanding. And going back again, we do have for the plaque expense, but that's covered through our donation from the bank. So we'll end the year at almost $8,000 in the bank. So that's all I have from the finance side. We made a little money. We've got our bills paid.
Plus, we were able to offer a free membership for a year.
And free membership, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's really fortunate on that.
Anybody got any?
I will answer any questions anybody has. Okay, thank you.
For the sectional tournament, we didn't receive any T-shirts or anything for that. Was that something that we didn't do this year?
We had an issue with the T-shirts. So which section were you in?
2.
2. Yeah. Let me get up with you and we'll figure out something. Because
Okay.
I mean, that's
No big deal. I
what
just
we
didn't know
talked
if there was
about,
something.
that we had an
Somebody
issue.
originally said that the players would get one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why that's why there was a little bit of money left over.
Okay.
Because there was some issue with, and I wasn't going to give them out because they bled over. The guy that usually does it sold out, and he didn't tell me he sold out. So that was the problem when I got them.
Okay.
Carrie, are you on here? I let an iPhone in. I thought that may be him. All right, we'll skip over him for now. So we'll go to committee reports. We'll do the membership update. That's mine. And let me share this screen. Can y'all see this?
Yes.
Okay. What we try to do, we look at the number of schools that offer tennis and then figure out how many coaches we have. And this all went back to when we first met with Julian and Mike. They were talking about, one thing they said, they really don't listen to coaches. They listen to administrators because they really don't know how many coaches are members and that kind of stuff. So ever since then, we've been trying to at least keep them up to date and go through this. And the goal is we need to get about 2/3 of the coaches be members before they really sit there and listen. And as I sent this to Mike today, and I told him that I'm willing to bet you that the Tennis Coaches Association probably has more members except for basketball and football, just because of the way we do our program. Even though we offered free membership, you still had to go physically sign up for it. So, and some other associations may make everybody a member regardless. They may not charge you. They may have somebody that pays for the trophies or anything they do. But if you look at there's 213 boys teams, 213 girls teams. And there's typically 2 or 3 more girls teams but this last week or two, they may be coaches that quit. And so they went ahead and took them off the list. But this was as of today, or last night when I downloaded it. There's 220 unique schools. So you could have one school that offers a boy team, one team that has a girls team. Those will count as 2 above these. So there were 220 total. We have 128 schools represented by coaches, which is 58%. Like I said, that goal needs to be 67%. That's our goal. And then if you look at the breakdown of the head coaches that are members, we have 172 coaches. 81 or almost 50% are coach both the boys and girls team. And then we have 46 boys coaches and 45 girls coaches. And then that shows you the assistant coaches that they sign up for. So we had 108 assistant coaches. In total, we had 280 members and then 7 associated members, which would include like Jason Miller at USTA, Mike Edens on here, Clay Boone. There's a couple other ones I can't recall. So that gives us a total of 287 members. Gotta let some people in. Okay. Anybody got any questions, comments? I see Carrie's on here. It's connecting auto. Hi, Carrie.
Hey, Victor, how are you, everybody?
Good. We got you on here. Do you want to go over the election results, or you want to get a minute to catch your breath?
I can pull my phone here. So I see I'm driving and I'm talking at the same time. So yeah, we'll make it work. I apologize.
So when we hear the crash, we know you're in trouble, right?
Yeah, that would be correct. All right. So I guess after the elections, we got 4 sections. And then, so congratulations to Brian Fosenbacher at Madison North Hopkins. Hi, Brian. Hopefully on the call. And congratulations to him. Stacy Rice. I think I know Stacy Rice at DeSales. She's in section 2. And Al, glad you finally got with us now, Al. I'm glad to have you with us, Covington Catholic. That's section 3 is our rep. And section 4, Doug Bentley from Knott County Central. I don't think I have ever met, but I certainly want to congratulate him and welcome him to our organization as well. So I appreciate it, and congratulations to you 4. The other part, I guess, is the officer thing. You may go ahead and run with that now, Victor.
Yeah, go ahead, because that was next.
Okay. So only thing we have left now is we need a secretary treasurer. All the other offices, I think, have been filled. So we're kind of out there looking for a secretary treasurer to be on the board. And if anyone would love to be a part of that, it's not greatly involved. So, it won't require a lot of time. If that fits your bill and you'd like to kind of get involved with that one, please reach out to me. Send me a text, email, or get my number for somebody else. I'll be glad to point you in the right direction. But everything else is pretty well set. I think I'm it. I'm still driving and I'm still not dead yet. So
That's a good day, right? Yeah, just so everybody knows, what happens is whoever's the vice president is the president-elect. They serve as vice president for 2 years. Then the president serves as two years. And then when their term's up, they move up to past president. And then that's for 2 years, and then you roll off. So basically it's 2 years as vice president, 2 years as president and 2 years as past president. And then the rest of the officers, are the secretary and treasurer is year to year. Whitney? Can you?
Yes. Yep, I'm here.
Are you able to talk? I know you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I removed myself from my parental duties.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Does anybody have any questions about the officers nominations or the election?
Victor, I mean, I'd be willing to, serve another year if there's, no one that, wants to serve as treasurer. I mean, I've done for a number of years, and I mean, I've been glad to do it, and no problems there. But if there's anybody that's, quote, in the mainstream of doing it, then I'd be happy to step aside. But if you want me to stay in, I can do that for another year. So whatever you need.
Now, we've already listed you as a nominee, but we're open for other people too. And I know you already said that it's up to that, but he is president of the bank where the bank account's at, so that's important. All right, Whitney. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. No problem. Okay. So, let's see. So for education, events, and publicity. So one, it's super exciting to basically feel like we're going to be able to do a coaches clinic again, since we missed gathering in 2021. In terms of those dates, I mean, does anybody have a preference? I kind of like the end of January, only because I think it sets the tone and gets like us prepared prior to the season, so it's 2 weeks out from when we can start, or 2.5 weeks out. And then, in terms of content, I don't know if anybody has any suggestions or thoughts. I don't know if Lexington is going to be doing another, WTA event, but I do feel like that's always a kind of neat experience because you can piggyback and include your team. And maybe, we kind of, if you guys want to send me some ideas, and then I obviously have time to put it together, but if there's anything that coaches are looking for or wanting to, get out of the clinics, please let me know, because I'd like for that to drive it.
Yeah, what I can do, we can put together a questionnaire and send it out to people and see what they want as far as content.
Okay. Yeah. That would be great. And then that way we kind of let that drive, where we have it, what we do, et cetera.
Hey, Whitney, this is Mike.
Hey.
I talked to John Sanders at Top Seed, and they do plan to have a WTA event in January or February, but I'm not sure. I don't know what the dates are.
Okay. So that's good, because I can keep in contact with him, and we can kind of, because I know he'll have to know sooner rather than later, obviously. And I even think if we can put something out by September, then that gives people plenty of time to plan.
WTA, your free edition and all that. You can see that too. They're helping.
Can you repeat that? You kind of broke up. Are you still there, Whitney?
Oh, I'm still here. Oh, did I break up? Sorry, I heard
No,
somebody else.
No, I think it may have been Noel, or they may have been saying something.
Okay.
It's hard telling.
Okay. And then, all right, so we'll just keep in touch on that, and I will be in touch with John, Mike, and we can kind of go from there. And Vic, we can get out a survey to everybody. And then in terms of sectionals, so the only thing I can, actually, okay, well, oh, good. So that does not conflict with Derby. Okay. I was just double checking the calendar. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, us Louisville people.
Well, I know that's the first thing I checked and went back and forward. And just so everybody knows, according to the calendar that KSH has got, they're planning on letting people start the regional tournament the Saturday after the Derby, the 15th. So that's
Okay.
why, that's the other reason why I pushed it, the April, May date
Yeah.
into April 1st of May.
Okay. No, I actually think that date is good because it gives you some time. And again, to put it out early, I know because we weren't sure if we're going to have it this year. In our region, we chose to take the earlier weekend. And so some other people, they were kind of traveling, playing other not other tournaments, but other teams out in the state. So I think having it later will help us. Right, Marty? I know you guys were like in Lexington, and then E-Town had some stuff. So I think this day will be good. Should be good because it's just later, but closer to regionals.
Yeah, it's definitely a better date. I agree.
What's the
Yep.
date?
April 29th and then May 1st.
29th, 30th, and 1st.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just-
sorry.
In Eastern Kentucky, we've got a limited number of courts. So we've got to do it over a 3 days. That's why those dates are that way. Typically, everybody plays on Friday, the 29th, and Saturday, April 30th. So just that'll be the same. Anybody else got anything else on events or on those events?
Jay?
Okay.
And then you want me to go to awards?
Yeah, that's the next one.
Okay. Okay. So this year, first of all, I'm like, I want to apologize just because we were so touch and go in terms of, what we were going to be able to do when we thought that everything was going to be at UK in like typical, years past. I had gotten with Dennis Emery and he had got me in contact with a lady who oversees all like the rec courts. So we had our plan for there. Well, then when KHSA kind of changed everything, and then the weather, they were very adamant about speaking to John at Top Seed and saying, we think that the Coach Association is going to ask you to do these awards, and we're asking you to just tell them that they can't do it inside. So it wasn't as kind of like pronounced as usual, I think, because again, we were trying to be respectful of, I don't like to upset the KHSAA, not during that weekend. The other times I'm fine to like go head to head, but during that weekend, I really don't like to upset them. So we were kind of like touch and go in terms of, okay, when and where can we do this? So I know a couple of coaches didn't necessarily know exactly, and their kids made it. So, I do want to apologize for that. But I was very pleased that we were able to honor the kids and have something, especially since last year, was missed. And it was really important to kind of just recognize these kids. So anyways, that's just my own personal like comment on that. The Miss 2021 Mr. Tennis Kentucky was Zach White from Tate's Creek. And then the 2021 Miss Tennis Kentucky was Carrie Beckman from Sacred Heart. The all-state team. So we have our automatic qualifiers, which are 8 from singles and 8 from doubles. So the reason so we keep it even with the same amount of players from singles and doubles, but obviously that means that the 8 quarterfinalists automatically qualify for singles, but because, a doubles team is 2 people, then we only take the semifinals. And then that allows for 10 at-large members who were nominated by their coaches. And those have to be seniors. So we kind of honor them in that respect. So there was brought to our attention that why don't the doubles quarterfinalists get recognized as automatic qualifiers? So, we can have a discussion about that. If you do that, then we have to cut down the amount of at-large members that are chosen for all state. And then you have more doubles players than you do singles players that automatically qualify. So there's that component. So I will give my kind of like coach's opinion on that, and then we can kind of open it up for a small discussion. Vic went back and was kind of looking at since 2000,
2000.
2000. Okay. Yes. On the amount that, of all state. And so when KHSAA was in charge of this, there were way less, athletes recognized.
Hold on a second. KSHA has always claimed they never did do the state, all-state team. There was a tennis committee that
Right.
supposedly did that.
Yes.
So KSHA never supposedly did any of that. Now, I think Kathy Johnston was one of the people on that, and Aaron Browning may have been when he was at USTA. I haven't ran him down to ask him that question, but that was my understanding. I know that Chad Wims from Lawrence County was definitely one of the people on that committee during some period of time, because we had a conversation with that. All right,
And
sorry about that.
Andy, that's what I was gonna say. Andy, probably Larry was too, and like Joe Crow or something.
Yeah, I'm sure at some point, for sure.
Okay. But so when we took it over, we recognize a higher percentage. And my thoughts are like this was a really not a difficult year, but it was a year where there were a lot of seniors who maybe played doubles and did not get a favorable draw, did not get seated, but they had a lot of success in the prior, in their freshman, sophomore year, or, some, obviously, if they were able to play like in 7th or 8th grade. And so we were really able to honor 10 boy seniors and 10 girl seniors who had a nice high school career. So if you add in 8 more doubles players, then you're looking at only like recognizing 2 of those at large, which to me is a little dicey just in terms of, you have 7th and 8th graders who can play high school tennis, but that they're technically not in high school. So they may be paired with someone, and so they may make it to the, quarters in doubles. But then you have these other people who, had a great 3-year career, but for whatever reason, different dynamics, or for their team, they needed to play doubles instead of singles, etc., or singles instead of doubles, and then they don't get recognized. And I do like the consistency of 8 singles players and 8 doubles players. So that is very even, in my mind. So that's kind of like where I go. I think it's nice to be able to honor more at-large members, but that's my personal opinion. So that I'm starting that discussion, and then if anybody would like to add, I'm going to mute myself, and please feel free to give your opinion on that.
Hey, Whitney, this is Roger. I totally agree with what you're saying about that. I think if we do the quarterfinals and doubles, if we're only knocking it down to 2 at-large bids, there's a lot of good players that have had good careers out there that are going to be left out. And I just really hate to see that. So I'm on board with everything you said.
Thank you.
Whitney,
This is
Jody.
Byron with Lafayette. I also concur.
Oh, go ahead, Brian.
Yes, I agree with Whitney.
Can I agree to disagree with Whitney? I think what Whitney said about the at-large is spot on. I don't know why we have to knock numbers down for at-large just to give the equality to the doubles players that achieve the same thing as the singles players do. I think that's not very fair to the kids that are getting to the same place. And my point is that for the team championship, which Whitney's won numerous times, the value of the points for singles and doubles are equal. And to say that quarterfinalists, and we're talking 8 kids for boys, 8 kids for girls, are not going to be treated the same, I think we're devaluing doubles. And I think whether they play with a 7th grader or they play are 2 good doubles players, I think they should have the equal rights of being an all-state member of the team if they reach that certain plateau, to raise the bar and say you got to be a semifinalist instead of a quarterfinalist just to make numbers even. To me, that doesn't make any sense. And if we're worried about at-large people, why are we putting a number on at-large? Thank you.
Well, I'll address part of that. we're not, you're only going to recognize so many, X number of all state. And if you keep doing it, then it's like participation award. We're not going to increase the numbers. We're right now, I don't believe all states should be more than 15% of the people that are in it. And right now we're at 13 and a half. And if we get that one extra, now there's one exception to the 10 at large. If your last player was a doubles player and him and his partner were both equal, then there would be consideration of bringing both of them or none of them. That's the only debate on that number. At that point, it's about 14.5%. So you're almost at the 15% number. The other side is you're giving 8 singles players and 8 doubles players that recognition. Or the other side is to cut it down and just everybody in the semifinal or in the semifinals, and then the committee decides the rest of them. And then who do you think are going to give them to? Probably going to be the singles players over the doubles player.
Well, they would have to be seniors, correct?
Correct. But it would be the bias at that point then would be going to the single players anyway.
Well, that's the thing that bothers me, and I won't say another word about it. But when you say the bias word, that to me it's clear that there's not any equality between quarterfinalists in singles and doubles. It's unfortunate that 2 people are a part of a team for doubles, but in the scheme of the state championship, each win, whether it's singles or doubles, has equal value, but we're not giving equal value to quarterfinalists and doubles.
Well,
so
let me answer it. I'll try to answer that is, yeah, you're right. It's equal as far as points, but doubles, and I hate to say this, in the reality, doubles isn't equal to singles. It may be equal in points, but look at the pros. Everybody else, doubles get slighted. Ask Bryan brothers. They play doubles. I'm just saying that's the thing. What they were trying to do when we didn't start this got started before too, that they were just trying to figure out how to take, some number out of the equation and give underclassmen a better chance by playing in to that certain thing. That's kind of how I think they came up that number when they originally did the singles, the semifinals, the doubles, and the singles was the quarterfinals. And it's 8 kids, that's 16, and then you have the rest of them. But
okay. Well, it sounds like your all's mind is made up, and like I said, I can't understand how a quarterfinalist in one does not have the same equality as the other one. That was the reason I came tonight, and I appreciate the chance to clarify my reasoning for that. And thanks for listening. And you all do a great job, and keep on doing what you do. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks. You still there, Whitney? You're up with the rest of it, I guess.
Oh no! What else do I have to talk about?
I know. Yeah, I left off when I sent you earlier. I left off the coach of the year. The boys was Tim.
Oh yes. So sorry, coaches of the year. So the boys was Tim Deathridge from Greenwood, and then the girls coach was Larry Heflin from McCracken County.
Yeah, I left it off the first one. So
I was like, what else? I was like, wait, what else am I in charge of? No, nothing else.
Well, I left the whole agenda off yesterday's email. So Andy was asking me something. I said, oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't send this. Anybody got any more questions about the awards? Okay. This is our biannual year to review our bylaws to see if there's any changes we need to make. Just, I'm not, if anybody wants to serve, you can volunteer now, be the chair, and then we'll figure out the rest of the people to join your committee. If not, I'll call a couple people out who has thought they may be interested in helping. Mike, I think you're the only one on here from USTA. So if you want to talk about USTA and how the tennis association can do a better job participating.
All right. Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, Victor. I'm the current USTA Kentucky president, and there's a couple things that I'd like to bring to your all's attention as coaches. One is the National USTA has a Grow the Game grant that's available right now. And let me just kind of read this to you and give you some information about it. There's a $3 million in grants available. And the purpose of this is to encourage and recognize local organizations who are actively engaging new and returning players into the sport in a safe and meaningful way. And you can use the grant to help with your coaching costs, tennis balls, teaching equipment, cleaning, sanitizing efforts, or marketing. And so more details on that, if you get between 8 and 20 new returning players, you can get $10 per player. Between 21 and 51 players, you can get $11 per player. And if you get 51 or more, you get $12 per player. So there's not a definite maximum there. But if anybody's interested in that, I know that everyone has programs across the state that you're working with your kids in your area. This is something that you may not be aware of. And if you're interested, it goes from till November, and you have to have your application in by October 1st, I think it is. So let me know if you have if you're interested in that, and I can give it to Victor so he can send that out to everybody to give more information about it. The other thing that I know many of you all have participated in is junior team tennis, in particular the Interscholastic League, which we play in the fall. And so your players can play for your team, and that has become very popular the last few years, and we've had a lot of growth in that particular league. There's also junior team tennis in the summer, which some of you might be interested in. Well, that is an advancing league. That is the summer JTT. They can go to sectionals and can go to nationals, whereas the fall Interscholastic League is just you can go to the state tournament. So you have your local league, and then you go to the state. And the state this year, I believe, is going to be in Lexington again, in the fall. But I know that I coached teams for that for several years from LCA, and some years we'd have my best players playing it, and they were, and sometimes it didn't. But even the kids at all different levels had a great time, and so it's something that I would encourage you all to think about to keep the kids out playing year round, particularly if you have kids that aren't playing tournaments and they really like to stay with their teammates. And you don't have to have kids on your team necessarily. They can be kids from your area. You can put together a team that has from multiple schools if you like. But many of the teams are from their particular school. And I think Victor also had on the agenda that the Coaches Association is a community tennis association of the USTA. And we sought that designation a few years ago because we do promote tennis, obviously, and we run our tournament, our sectional tournament, so that allowed us to become a CTA, and we benefit from the insurance through the USTA. So our liability insurance is through them, and that helps us out with the rates significantly. So that's all I have, Victor. If there's any questions.
One other thing. Now I don't know. Stacy's gone; she's on maternity leave. But she was talking about that there was some kind of, because we're school teachers. Most of y'all can do some program in school, and if you do that, there's some equipment packages that are available for those kids to use, and you do that deal. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk about. Not the equipment packages, but middle school tennis.
Yeah, so there are equipment packages through the Net Generation program, and for coaches and for PE teachers. If you have, I'm sure that some of you all have tried to reach out to your PE teachers in your school system and to try to get them to have tennis as part of their curriculum. So if they're not aware of it, they can get the equipment for free. But Stacy can help out with that
when she gets back.
When she gets back, yes.
Hold on one second. I was answering a comment. Let's kind of recap and try to plan for the future for the next year. You know, one of our goals is still to lobby the KSHA to bring back team tennis in a head-to-head format. They tried that one year. It was kind of a disaster because they didn't have any indoor backup courts and everything went. Now with top seed, I think that we could work out something, you know, with them to actually host the tournament and have the championship there. I assume that that's what we still want to do. I mean, I know that was a big push, and actually forming the Coaches Association was trying to do that. And then the other reason. Anybody got any comments on the head-to-head format? Actually playing instead of doing a math problem, adding up. One of the other things I'm gonna try to explore is try to find sponsorships or do some kind of thing. So, you know, if we can continue to provide free membership, then we've got to have some kind of source of income to help offset that. And we look at probably about $4,000 a year is what we raise in dues, $4,000 to $5,000. If we can maintain about $4,000, that does everything we need to do right now. So if we can find sponsorships or even kind of do a region by region deal that, if you got 16 regions, if you can do one sponsor from each region for $500, that'll take care of it. So either try to do a couple larger sponsors that can do that or do the other things. That's one thing we're trying to figure out is how can we keep the membership free? I think everybody on here would like to keep the membership for free. UTR and high school matches. I know some people like UTR and some people don't. The National Federation of High School and UTR just came to agreement or partnership. So now the National Federation of High School is promoting UTR platform for reporting tennis matches. So KSHA has always kind of followed what National High School Federation does. So maybe that'll be the crux to get people to have the same reporting and visibility you have for football and softball and baseball, and those kind of things. Plus, at the end of the year, if you do all the matches in the region, then you don't have to worry about that P105 form. You don't have to worry about sending anything in. I can just pull those matches up and that kid's matches and see, and then they can go from there. And not necessarily, they don't use that as the sole source for seeding, but it's just one of the tools that they use. They look at other stuff too. Any comments on that?
It really isn't very difficult to do. It's pretty simple. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer to me, but I don't know. That's just my perspective. It sure would be nice to see what other teams do. You don't have a newspaper reporting anymore. Can't look at the Courier, Lexington Herald, or anything. So being able to see what School A versus School B does would be nice.
Yeah, and that may be the other thing we may try to do is maybe we try to figure out if we can put together a network of independent reporters. I know there's a couple guys that do stuff independently. Maybe we can get a couple of those that we can start reporting matches to, and they could publish it online on the internet or something. That may be an option at some point, kind of promote just high school tennis.
The only downfall I've heard from my players is like, when we play certain teams, and all those scores always get put in UTR. Then we play other teams, they don't get put in UTR.
Yeah.
They get wins against really good players, and those don't get reported because the other school doesn't have a UTR, set up.
Right. Yeah, and that's what it's got to be. They got to all be reported to make it private. And if everybody reports it, then we can also use that information and do school rankings and other, weekly ranking off that, because UTR's already ran a couple reports for me and sent them to me, but the problem was there wasn't that many schools that were reporting all the matches, so it kind of skewed the results real bad. So that's why I didn't send it out on it. Are there any priorities or anything that we need to talk to KSAJ about coming up this year? Other than team tennis and maybe trying to get reporting.
Are we going to keep the long breaks in between end of regular season and regional and state tournaments where we have 2 weeks in between all these events?
Well, what they've got on the schedule right now is they've got the regional tournament. And they've still got it. They've actually got it started on the 15th of May, that Saturday. And then they got it finishing on Thursday instead of Wednesday. And I think that's a mistake. I think they missed the wrong date because I don't think they're going to want to do the draw on Thursday and Friday with Memorial Day weekend again. So I think they'll come back and change it to Wednesday. But that's what they're going to do. I mean, I think that's what they're going to keep, that long break. But they they did change it from that Monday to that Saturday, saying that people can start, 2 days early. I really extended 2 days because you used to be able to play up until that Saturday if you wanted to play.
What were the state tournament dates then?
2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I believe.
Okay.
It's the same. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay.
It's on the calendar. It's Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day, and Wednesday and Thursday. I think it's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So what you want to? You're wanting a shorter period of regional tournament and state close together.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It seems like we've for the last couple of years we finished the regular season second week of May, and then it's a month until you play. It's 4 weeks until you play the state tournament, with the only thing in between there is being the regional tournament. So basically, you have 3-4 days of competition in a 4 week span between the last regular season match and the state tournament. Unless you want to squeeze in matches on those dead weeks. I know originally the issue was the Creason, the USTA tournament was that weekend before Memorial Day. So then that was always a conflict with the state tournament there. So they moved it back a week, I think, because of that. And I don't know. There's just not a whole lot of competition in those last 2 or 3 weeks of May.
Yeah, and then the conflict now is that Saturday. The Southern close starts on that Saturday, so they moved to give Friday a travel day, and those kids, better players, play that Saturday.
Right.
So it gives them that day. So that's why they moved it up, and then they pushed up against Memorial Day, and that's kind of crazy too. Way it ended up, and then well, I thought it was going to work out pretty good because testing was the first part of May.
Right.
And now all the schools have moved their regular year back. They starting later and they moved it back. So I don't know. I don't know what to see. Now KSAJ did say that as long as you don't have your 22 matches in, you can play during that break through that period of time. But I know part of the problem is, at least Eastern Kentucky, we don't have any indoor courts. So we've got to be careful to, try to get our matches in. And if it's, got rain and stuff. But this year we had testing. So we couldn't play the first 3 days, that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But anyway, if I hear anything, I'll let you know. I'll see what our conversations are.
No problem.
That's all I had. Is there anybody have any new business?
I have an idea about regarding state tournament. Is there any way that we could just in each quarter section just have one representative from each region instead of possibly person playing somewhere from their region the first or second round? Which I've seen that happen several times.
Repeat that one more time. You were talking about having
in each quarter section of the bracket and singles and doubles, just have one representative from each region instead of possibly having somebody from the same region possibly playing in the first or second rounds. You wouldn't happen to see somebody from your region until later on.
So you're talking about how they do the draw.
How they do the draw, yes.
Do the draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's crazy is you do it in a region, you separate players, and then they don't do it. They just do the first rounds. All they do. My understanding it. And see, that's the other problem is, if you look at with the team point system, if you got that, and you got your own two players playing each other early, that's a disadvantage. Bad draw. And then, some schools might bring two singles and two doubles players, and another, if you play in a tough region, you get two players, and the other team gets two players, then you're kind of at a disadvantage point system. So, I mean, there's a couple things that we need to try to see if they'll look at, but at least make them opposite brackets. But it may be because of seeding that they're not doing that. Or if they do just a team head to head, then at that point, then it's just matches, just a draw, just really a singles tournament, doubles tournament. But okay. Anybody got anything
If
else?
they could just separate the seeded entries from regions, it would be good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame to replay the same region in the state tournament after you just got through playing it.
Right.
Yeah, you're saying this if you're seeded, put the seeds in opposite brackets if they're from the same region.
If there's 4 doubles seeds from the same region, they should be in 4 different quarters.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I know in the last 3 years we've had the 11th region doubles tournament in 1 quarter 1 year, and we had the 11th region singles tournament in 1 quarter 1 year. I mean, you play all year, you'd like to play somebody new at the state tournament.
Right.
I mean, if you advance all the way to the quarters, that's great. You can play whoever shows up in the quarters. But, until then, it'd be nice to play new people.
Yeah.
I mean, just separating the seeds would be less of a job than just separating everybody. That'd be tough to separate them all, but
Yeah, I mean, I would think that you'd want to separate the seeds anyway to balance it out. Because they're doing them in block seeds anyway. They're doing the 1 and 2 gets placed, 3 and 4 gets flipped, but then the next one's 5 through 8 are all as a pod, so you got to be able to spread those out, and then the 9 through 16. Did any of y'all happen to get online when they were with the software programs they used for the state when they reported matches by chance? Okay. Aaron Browning developed that. It's a Google spreadsheet, and you can put them in, and all you do is put the matches in, and it's got a drop-down menu. And I was talking to him, maybe trying to use that to develop that so you can use it for the regional tournament. And you just put it online. You just as soon as you get updated, it shows. I was in the hospital, so I got to watch that and follow them. So for that period of time, that's what. Matter of fact, I texted him because I know that at UK they were leaving the court numbers on there, and it changes color. That's why I told him. I said, "You need to tell them to take off those court numbers when those matches come off." He said, "I'll call them right now." But it worked out pretty good, and it'll automatically update them in the draw too. So.
How we do ours.
So any other new business? Not hearing anything. Do I have a motion? Let's see. I guess we need to.
I actually resource. Can you hear me? This is Stacy Rice.
Yeah.
I am the local league coordinator for the Louisville area and sit on a board of local league coordinators, which are basically just the coordinator of adult leagues once, for all the adult tennis leagues through USTA. And one of the things that we've been focusing on in Louisville is trying not to lose these players that are, 18, 18 to typically 39. But my focus has been trying to find out, all of these seniors that are going, a lot of them, of course, are going to college. Most of them are not playing tennis. But I know that there's been a big push in all of the areas to offer essentially some like a scholarship or some type of assistance to any of the seniors who are looking to continue to play adult. And so I would encourage, any of your seniors that you have that are looking to kind of continue with tennis, but maybe not in college, check out every single area or region in Kentucky has a tennis association. And so we're all making a push to put together these scholarships that if you have, a senior that, wants to play next year for USTA and continue in adult tennis, it can be expensive. You're talking $44 for a membership, a $25 league fee. If you're, in Louisville or Lexington or one of the places that have indoor courts, then you're paying an indoor court fee. And these college students can't afford all that. But we're losing these players that, need to continue playing tennis. So I would just encourage seniors that want to keep playing to reach out to their regional community tennis associations. See if there's, I know the focus is to give out 1-year memberships and then as adults, and then that way they can play in all the different leagues. So I just kind of want to put that out there as a resource for your seniors.
Okay, do you have a flyer or any information written on that, Stacy?
We do Louisville, but what I'll do is I'll our next Zoom meeting, I'll get a list of all of the areas and community tennis associations that have it in place. We're going to be offering, and then what I could do is email it out to everybody here.
Okay. Well, my other thought was if you had something that you can contact, like in Louisville, Bellarmine and University of Louisville, a couple other schools that you can kind of recruit them through that side too.
Yeah, we've been doing that. We've been working on tennis on campus.
Okay. Well, I was just talking about the league play. I know you got tennis on campus. It's almost a two-step. You got the seniors going to college and the college kids that are graduating, try to get them back in so they'll play.
Right.
Yeah. So it's two different approaches. The new board members will have just a short meeting in July, and then this next meeting will be in August, the regular board meeting. I'll send out. It'll be the middle of August, right before school starts, or that way. If anybody else got any questions, comments? Terry, you look like you want to say something.
I'm good.
All right.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it. Also second, looking for the goals too, though. I wanted to just try to make it through the tournament without getting kicked out of the top seed. So that's the biggest goal for the coming year. So
Thanks to all the board members for their hard work.
I'll make a second.
Appreciate it. So if we don't have anything else, we're adjourned.
Thank you, Victor.
Have a good summer.
Thank you,
everybody.
too.
Thanks,
Guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Everybody have a safe and happy summer.
You do the same. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Try to figure out. Well, Carrie, you made it. You're still alive.
I'm back in the car now going to work out.
Okay. Well, I saw that.
My son's convinced me to get in the car and go work out. We've been lifting weights and he's kind of got on that kick or whatever. So I can't turn that down. So it's 8 o'clock here, but that's all right. Part of what we do, I guess.
Is Brandon in Louisville?
He is, yes. He is. He's got a job downtown. He's a finance guy and married and Got a house. He's kind of moved on in life.
Yeah.
Got off my payroll, so it's all good.
Where's he working? He was a financial analyst?
He is, well, no, he works for a company called Springstone, I think it is. It's a health kind of a wellness place. And he works, downtown Louisville with that company. I don't know much more than that. They got some, they deal with people with drug addictions and mental health and things such as that. But he has nothing really to do with that. He just works for the books and financing of that. So I'm sure they. Go ahead.
I got a friend's son works for Humana. I don't know if he's a CFO or he's been there for a while. His dad's pretty sharp too, but I'm doing that. But anyway, I'll let you go.
All right. You're looking good.
All right.
Feeling good?
See you. Yeah.
You feeling good?
I mean, I didn't feel bad. My blood, they were just afraid I was going to get septic. They just pumped me full of antibiotics and it's cleared up. My blood's back to normal. So no infection. That's the good part. All right. You take care.
Good. All right.
All right.
Appreciate
See
it.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Bye.